Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Chicago, Illinois is not only known as one of the largest and most influential cities in the United States, but also as home to one of the most diverse and dynamic Muslim communities in the country. In this historic city, Islam grew from a small community into a large network of mosques, educational institutions, and social movements that have played a crucial role in shaping the face of modern Islam in America. The early history of Islam in Chicago. The early history of Islam in Chicago began over 100 years ago, when waves of immigrants from around the world began arriving in this rapidly growing industrial city. In the early 20th century, Chicago became a magnet for thousands of workers seeking new opportunities, and among them was a small Muslim community that brought new beliefs, customs, and identities to America. From 1910 to 1930, many Muslim immigrants arrived from Middle Eastern regions such as Syria, Palestine, and Lebanon. They were merchants, factory workers, and railroad workers who chose Chicago as a place to live because of the abundant job opportunities. At that time, the Muslim community was still very small and did not have an official mosque. Worship services were conducted simply, usually in small homes, rented spaces, or community gatherings. Meanwhile, significant developments also emerged within the African American Muslim community. In the 1920s and 1930s, Chicago became a center of Black religious movements, including the Moorish Science Temple, an organization that introduced spiritual teachings with Islamic overtones to the African American community. The movement's founder, Noble Drew Ali, was highly influential and became one of the earliest figures in the broader history of Islam in America. Soon afterward, Chicago also became the birthplace of the Nation of Islam, NOI, a movement rooted in the struggle for Black identity and empowerment. Although the NOI's early teachings differed from traditional Islam, the organization played a significant role in introducing the concepts of the oneness of God, a disciplined way of life, and a sense of identity to many African Americans. Prominent figures such as Elijah Muhammad and later Malcolm X had strong ties to Chicago. It was during this period that Islamic identity began to develop, not only as an immigrant religion, but also as a social force within the African American community. These small communities then laid the foundation for the growth of Islam in Chicago in the following decades. Entering the mid-20th century, waves of immigrants from South Asia and Eastern Europe began arriving, further enriching the city's Muslim diversity. Although there were no large mosques or Islamic centers like today, these early Muslim communities laid the foundation for the development of Islamic institutions in modern Chicago. This historical phase laid a crucial foundation that shaped the face of Islam in Chicago, a long journey that began with small homes and humble communities and eventually grew into one of the largest Islamic centers in the United States. The development of mosques and Muslim communities in Chicago. Entering the mid-20th century, Islam's journey in Chicago began to enter a new, much more structured phase. While at the beginning of the previous century, Muslim communities relied solely on small homes and rented spaces for worship, a growing need emerged for the construction of permanent mosques, community centers, and educational institutions that could strengthen the Muslim identity of the next generation. The beginning of the first mosques. In the 1950s and 1960s, a new wave of immigrants from Pakistan, India, Palestine, Egypt, and North Africa began settling in Chicago. They brought with them more established religious traditions and began to gather to establish the first mosques that truly functioned as centers of worship. One early milestone was the establishment of the Muslim Community Center, MCC, in the late 1960s. The MCC became one of the pioneers of the Islamic community in Chicago, providing a mosque, weekend school, and social programs that strengthened a sense of community. The MCCC's existence demonstrated that Muslims were no longer simply settling in, but were building long-term foundations. Rapid growth after the 1965 immigration reform. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 marked a major turning point in the history of Chicago's Muslim community. This reform opened the door for immigrants from Muslim-majority countries to arrive in much larger numbers. As a result, the Muslim population increased significantly from 1970 to 1990. During this period, Chicago witnessed the birth of several large mosques now recognized throughout America, such as the Islamic Foundation in Villa Park, a significant center for the South Asian community, the Mosque Foundation in Bridgeview, a large mosque dominated by Palestinian and Arab communities for generations, Al-Fatir Mosque, a mosque widely associated with members of the African American community, including former athletes such as Muhammad Ali. These mosques serve not only as places of prayer, but also as places for education, social solidarity, and interfaith discussion. Suburban Muslim growth. From the late 1990s to the early 2000s, many Muslim families moved to suburbs like Naperville, Orland Park, Bolingbrook, Elgin, and Glendale Heights. This migration led to a significant growth in Islamic centers. The most prominent example is the Islamic Center of Naperville, ICN, which is now one of the largest Muslim communities in the state of Illinois, with thousands of worshipers and several mosque locations. These suburban mosques are equipped with modern facilities such as a full-time Islamic school, a gymnasium, an Islamic library, youth and adult education programs. These facilities have provided generations of Muslims born in America with a strong and comprehensive religious environment. The mosque is a center for social life. Nearly every mosque in Chicago serves as a community center, not just a prayer space. Within it, various social activities were born: food assistance programs, free health clinics, youth development, education and scholarship support, interfaith social activities with churches and synagogues. Chicago has become one of the American cities with the densest and most functional mosque network. More than 100 mosques now stand in the city and its surrounding areas, demonstrating the strong growth of Islam in this region. The role of the African American community continues. In addition to immigrants, the African American Muslim community remains a vital part of the development of mosques in Chicago. Many African American mosques exist on the south side and west side of Chicago, playing a role in empowering local communities and fighting social injustice. This mix of immigrants and African American Muslims makes Chicago one of the most diverse Islamic cities in the United States. The diversity of Chicago's Muslim community. One of the most unique and striking characteristics of Islam in Chicago is its extraordinary level of diversity. Unlike other cities that are typically dominated by a single ethnic group, Chicago is a melting pot of Muslim backgrounds from all over the world. This diversity not only enriches the community's culture, but also shapes the inclusive, vibrant, and dynamic character of Islam in Chicago. A highly diverse ethnic mix. Chicago's Muslim community encompasses nearly every known ethnic group in the Islamic world. In this city, it's difficult to find a single mosque whose congregation comes from just one country. Most are a mix of nationalities. Some of the largest communities include 1. Arab Muslims. The Arab community, particularly from Palestine, Yemen, Egypt, Syria, and Lebanon, has a very strong presence in Chicago. Neighborhoods like Bridgeview, Worth, and Orland Park are known as centers of the Arab American community. Halal stores, Middle Eastern restaurants, and Islamic educational centers are thriving in these areas. 2. South Asian Muslims. Immigrants from Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh form one of the largest Muslim groups in Chicago's rural and suburban areas. Many become professionals such as doctors, engineers, and academics. Mosques such as the Islamic Foundation and ECN have large South Asian congregations. 3. African American Muslims. As one of the oldest Muslim groups in Chicago, the African American community has had a profound influence. They were pioneers in introducing Islam to the Black community since the early 20th century. To this day, many mosques on Chicago's South Side and West Side are led by African American imams who focus on the social and spiritual development of the community. 4. Muslims from Africa. African communities from Nigeria, Somalia, Sudan, and Ethiopia are also thriving. African mosques are often active with family programs, Quranic instruction for children, and communication services for newcomers. 5. Muslims from the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Chicago has one of the largest Bosnian communities in America, especially after the Balkan conflicts of the 1990s. They bring with them a strong Eastern European Islamic tradition, with mosques bustling during Ramadan and cultural activities. 6. Latino Muslims and converts. The number of Latino Muslims and non-immigrant converts to Islam is growing every year. They often join multi-ethnic communities that warmly welcome newcomers. Many Dawah organizations and educational institutions work to support their spiritual journey. Language, culture, and traditions unified. In the daily life of Chicago's Muslim community, we can see a harmonious blend of cultures. Palestinian food blends with Pakistani cuisine, Friday sermons delivered in English to reach all, and community events that become a cultural melting pot. Islamic holidays like Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha are always moments that showcase this unity. Mosques are filled with worshippers in traditional attire from various countries. Kurtas, thobes, abayas, African robes, all gathered in one prayer line. A new generation of American Muslims. This diversity is further strengthened by the emergence of a younger generation of Muslims. Children and teens growing up in Chicago speak English as their primary language, think globally, confidently blend their Muslim and American identities, be active in schools, colleges, and community organizations. They are a new generation proud of their Islam, yet connected to their parents' cultures of origin. The influence of diversity on Chicago's Islamic identity. Because of the many diverse backgrounds, Islam in Chicago has developed into a broad and adaptive form. Values of tolerance, inter-community cooperation, and openness are key characteristics. Mosques and Islamic organizations focus on building interethnic unity, strengthening Islamic education, supporting youth programs, and creating safe spaces for converts to Islam. Chicago is also known as one of the most mature and socially established Muslim communities in America. Education, social activities, and the role of the Muslim community in Chicago. After going through a historical phase in community formation, Islam in Chicago is entering a new era marked by the strengthening of educational institutions, the expansion of social activities, and tangible contributions to the wider community. At this stage, the Muslim community is not only focused on religious development, but also plays a significant role in the social, economic, and cultural development of the city of Chicago. 1. Education, a strong foundation for a new generation of Muslims. Education is one of the most important pillars for the development of Islam in Chicago. Many Muslim families place religious and general education as a top priority. A. Full-time Islamic schools. Chicago and the surrounding area are home to some of the largest and most reputable Islamic schools in the United States. These schools provide a modern curriculum that combines general subjects, math, science, English, Islamic studies, Quran memorization and recitation, and character and moral development. Some well-known schools include Universal School in Bridgeview, one of the largest Islamic schools in the Midwest. Islamic Foundation School in Villa Park, with a strong academic reputation. College Preparatory School of America, CPSA, renowned for its achievements in science and technology. B. Weekend School for the General Community. For families who do not send their children to full-time Islamic schools, mosques provide weekend schools where children learn Quran, Arabic, morals, and the fundamentals of Islam. These weekend schools have become important institutions in maintaining the Islamic identity of the younger generation. C. Muslim Student Association, MSA. Chicago is home to several major universities such as the University of Chicago, Northwestern, UIC, and DePaul University. On these campuses, the MSA, Muslim Student Association, is very active. They organize Islamic studies, interfaith dialogue, campus Ramadan programs, and social and advocacy activities. Muslim students play a vital role in introducing Islam to their fellow students in a positive and open manner. 2. Social activities. Islam in service to the community. Chicago's Muslim community has a long tradition of social action and community service. This stems from the realization that Islam is not only about personal worship, but also about the social role of helping others. A. Relief and humanitarian programs. Many mosques and Islamic organizations operate, food banks for the poor, clothing donation drives, free healthcare services, support programs for low-income families. Every Ramadan, thousands of food packages are distributed to Muslim and non-Muslim families in need. B. Cross-community social action. Chicago is often a hub for interfaith activities. The Muslim community collaborates with churches, synagogues, and local humanitarian agencies to address issues of poverty, social justice, and general community needs. This collaboration demonstrates that Muslims play an active role beyond their own communities. C. Refugee support. Chicago welcomes many refugees from Bosnia, Iraq, Syria, and Somalia. Mosques provide temporary housing, legal assistance, employment assistance, and language development. The Muslim community sees it as a moral responsibility to help fellow human beings who come from difficult situations. 3. The political role and advocacy of Muslims. As more and more generations of Muslims are born in America, political involvement is increasing. A. Participation in elections and government. In various parts of Chicago and its suburbs, Muslims now serve as city council members, government officials, social activists, and even legislative candidates. They advocate for issues such as social justice, education, and the rights of minority communities. B. Advocacy organizations. Institutions such as CAIR, Chicago, Council on American Islamic Relations, CIOGC, Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago, have become important voices defending Muslim rights against discrimination while educating the wider community about Islam. 4. Mosques as centers of social and spiritual life. In Chicago, mosques are not just places of prayer. They are centers of community life. Mosques provide youth activities, leadership training, family and marriage counseling, mental health seminars, sports activities, and safe spaces for converts to Islam. These activities make mosques a vital part of shaping the identity of modern Muslims in Chicago. Islam, present, serving, and thriving. This stage demonstrates how Islam in Chicago has evolved from a small immigrant community to a mature and influential social force. Through education, social activities, and public roles, Chicago Muslims have become an integral part of city life. Muslim contributions to Chicago and modern Islamic life in the city. As the community has grown over generations, Muslims in Chicago have not only remained a resilient group, but have also made significant contributions to various aspects of city life. From healthcare to the arts, from economics to politics, the Muslim presence has become a vital part of Chicago's modern identity. This chapter illustrates how Islam has played an active role in building this great American city. 1. Contributions to health and science. One of the most prominent contributions of Chicago's Muslims is in the healthcare sector. Many Muslim doctors, researchers, and medical professionals now work at major hospitals such as Rush University Medical Center, Northwestern Memorial Hospital, University of Chicago Medicine. Most of these are second-generation Chicagoans. They have open community clinics, provided free healthcare through mosque programs, and played a significant role in chronic disease and public health research. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Chicago's Muslim community actively provided education, distributed masks, and offered vaccinations at many Islamic centers, showing solidarity with all city residents regardless of religion. 2. Role in education and academics. Many Chicago Muslims work as professors, teachers, and researchers at prestigious universities. In education, they teach science, engineering, and the arts, author for internationally recognized academic journals, develop Islamic school curricula, and strengthen ethical values and diversity within the campus environment. At the school level, many Muslim teachers play a role in suburban district schools like Naperville, Aurora, and Bolingbrook, instilling the value of social responsibility in the younger generation. 3. Economic impact, business, entrepreneurship, and the halal industry. In the economic sector, the contribution of Muslims is significant, especially in the areas of small business and entrepreneurship. A. Halal businesses and culinary arts. Halal restaurants, shops, Middle Eastern bakeries, and halal supermarkets are flourishing in the Bridgeview, Devon Avenue, Lombard, and Orland Park areas. The Devon Avenue area has even become a national icon as a center for Middle Eastern and South Asian food. B. Startups in technology. Young Chicago Muslims are also starting to build startups in financial technology, digital health, online education, artificial intelligence. This makes them part of the Midwest's growing tech ecosystem. 4. Art, culture, and modern Islamic narratives. In Chicago, there are also Muslim artists who play a role in elevating Islamic identity. Muslim photographers documenting the lives of the diaspora, documentary filmmakers, book and novel authors, public speakers championing a moderate and globally minded Islamic narrative. Cultural festivals such as the Arabesque Festival or Bosnian Heritage Day contribute to the city's cultural diversity. Islam is not a newcomer religion, but an authentic part of Chicago culture.